Hi everybody and welcome to the sit down with Stop staring.
Okay.
Welcome to the sit down with Elisakas. This is Trina.
This is Jordan over here. This is Jordan.
Okay, and we have amazing people with us today. So I'm not going to introduce myself. I'm introducing them. I don't know.
We don't need to introduce them.
I will not introduce them.
They need to be introduced?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Maybe later.
Sure.
Okay. But I'm the only chick, guys. Pray for me. Pray for me.
We're having a sit down with men today about men's issues. We're just talking to men, trying to understand men better, more, deeper. Yeah.
We're gonna go in straight, right?
Yeah, let's go.
Alright, we're not gonna waste any time.
Yeah.
My first question.
Sorry, pun unintended on all of that. Because,
Behave. Okay.
Okay.
What does it mean to be a man? Because I know it's easy for guys to ask, like people to ask women, what does it mean to be a woman? And there's a lot of information going around about what a woman is. But what is being a man to you guys? What does it mean to be a man? In your own words.
Wow, that's a good question. I think oftentimes what happens is man or manhood by extension is contrasted to or contrasted from woman or womanhood. But my understanding of it, and certainly my experience of it in my life, has been man would be contrasted from boy or boyhood.
Okay.
So I take it a man is a man when he sheds boy-like or boyhood tendencies and behaviors. So a man does not think like a boy. I think even biblically, I believe it was Paul who said, now that I am a man, no longer a babe, and then he continued to expand on the verse. I don't know what the exact wording was. Don't hold me to it now. You'll get the gist of it. You get the gist of it.
We do.
But a man would be the opposite of a boy. So when you leave behind, certainly as I am leaving behind boy tendencies, I am becoming more and more so a man. So being reliable, being trustworthy, being disciplined, being assertive. Okay, these are the manly or manhood traits that you take on. The more manly you become, or the more so that you leave behind boyhood tendencies. That's how I would answer it. That's my understanding.
It's pretty deep. Pretty dope.
And
Amory?
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, no.
Put aside childish things is what he was looking for.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I mean, manhood is interesting to me because you think you know what being a man is about. And you encounter different things at different stages of your masculinity. And you're like, oh my God, my uncle went through this, my dad went through this. So defining what a man is a little difficult for me. I think he summed it up pretty well. Maybe being responsible, zero excuse mentality. You know what I mean? It's her fault because Adam is like, no, this chick, nah, none of that. Okay. She gave it to me, I ate it, but I'm the man you put in charge of the garden, so I'll take the L. She's got nothing to do with this. That's being a man.
That's being a man.
Yeah.
Okay. I would like to throw this to you, Temwani. He mentioned an aspect of being a man is moving from being a boy and like letting go of boyhood tendencies to being mature and being a man. So what are the differences between a boy and a man? Because if we say putting aside boyhood tendencies, that has no age to it, doesn't it? Like when you get to this
I
age.
think it does, man.
It does?
Yeah.
How so?
Well, look at Jewish people.
Yeah?
They'll celebrate your manhood when you're 12, bro. Those kids know about masculine responsibility so early. You're still a youth at 30, you know what I mean? So I think it depends on the culture and the part of the world you're from. Yeah, but you can put an age on it.
There's a synthesis to what Emery just said and what Jordan just said. So while you can symbolically signify certain development stages in a person's life with a rite of passage, a celebration, not everyone will necessarily mature at the prescribed rate, right? So there is some synthesis to it. generally people tend to change their thinking, their bodies, their expectations, their roles, their responsibilities at certain times. We tend to start school at a certain age. We tend to graduate at a certain age, some earlier, some later. We tend to start work at a certain age, some earlier, some later. And with that, we take on certain responsibilities, certain thinkings, certain attitudes, mindsets, so on and so forth. So there's like a synthesis between what Jordan was suggesting and what Amory has just put on the table.
Okay, so the reason I'm asking this is we have a lot of questions about these men who are still boys. We've heard this phrase being tossed around.
Correct.
So the reason I ask that is because at what point can a man still be a boy, and at what point do we separate the boy from the man, and when do you graduate, for lack of a better term? Yes, there are times. Yes, there are cultural definitions of, okay, now you're a man. When you move out to your family home, you're a man now. Okay, you're going to university, you're a man now. So what are the differences between a boy and a man? How do you graduate from that point to the other?
I don't think you graduate.
Okay.
I think. Sorry, am I talking too much?
No.
You should speak after me. I think every man has a king, a fool, and a boy in him. Every man. You just have to have the wit and the wisdom to know what matters when. Because if you get rid of all your boyish tendencies, quite alright, you may get rid of your childishness, but childlikeness is important. You can't be gloomy dude all over there. Be childlike with your mom sometimes, your girl, you know what I mean? So I don't think there's graduating entirely. I think it's there are dimensions to it. Yeah.
I think to add on to that, manhood, I believe, has always been centered more around the values that you hold as a male. The integrity, and some of the other values that you mentioned. For me, manhood has always been about what legacy are you leaving behind? How will people remember you? And so on and so forth. And the striking of that balance between your values and your personhood. So your personhood is characteristics that are important to your environment. So dependent on what environment you step into, you approach it a certain way. I mean, even Jesus told his very old disciples to say, be like these kids when you come unto the Father. You know what I'm saying? There was certain things that he wanted them to adopt from their behavior around him.
Okay.
How they just trusted that, oh yeah, this is Jesus. You know what I'm saying? Their excitement towards...
I get that, but my question is, well, not that you're not answering my question, but there's a little bit I want us to get to. The aspect of men still being boys. Is that, let me start here. Is it possible for a man to still be a boy?
Yeah.
All right. So
this is why I wanted to qualify it.
Yeah,
in personhood or in values.
This is the question I'm asking you.
Man.
Right.
Okay.
Like,
this is happening.
You have the personhood. Yes, you have the personhood in terms of
how you approach different situations.
This is what determines what. Is this where the aspect of manhood is? Or you say in values, the values that we have can be ingratiated in us over time, right?
Yeah.
As we grow, as we encounter certain situations, as we encounter different people, we pick up certain values, we drop other values. The values you have now that you live alone are different from the values you had when you were a son in your parents' home.
Yeah.
So my question is, how do we then shift this person that is a boy into being a man? Like, what would you say are the qualifying factors? Seeing as it's not exactly graduation.
I think
it's okay. You're not saying too much or talking too much. You're okay.
I think you guys have to be responsible, man. I mean, it's simple.
That's a key.
Parents, send your mom some money.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
It's those. Okay, he's older now. He's realizing money is difficult to come by. Life is not as easy as it was when he was living under our roof. He's on his own now. I think it's as simple as that, man. But like I said, you don't fully graduate. You'll be a fool sometimes. It's important to be a fool so that you can learn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? From your foolishness. So, yeah, it's an easy question to answer, but it's a wormhole again.
Yeah, because the practicality is extremely dynamic also.
Which actually brings me to the next question. what are the challenges that you face as men?
The money.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was about to jump in on that one. I think also, as men, like the main thing that we struggle with is picking the right friends, the right people we find ourselves with, because they entirely influence what we do, our decision making. You find that when you are a responsible child, you know, living with your parents, you abided by a certain set of rules and regulations. You knew what to do, what not to do.
Yeah.
Then when you move out on your own, living in your own place, your friends come over, you know, you get into that excitement of, boys are like, let's go chill, let's go, you know, meet some girls, let's go do this and do all sorts of things.
Yeah.
I think that's what you know, mostly hinders us from being, you know, our true selves, from what we learned growing up, but then meeting people, because like, I think when I was a kid, I was under, you know, strict rules from my dad. Now I can bloom and do my own thing. So if you have certain you know, type of friends that actually help you guide your thought process, I think it helps you to make better decisions as a man, than having, you know, friends who actually just want to, you know, you to focus on, you know, let's go have fun, let's go do this, it's how you spend money, let's just go drink and stuff like that. So I think that's the main issue that we face, you know, having the right kind of people around us when we you know, on our own.
Would you say that is a challenge that's unique to us as men? Because I think that's what you're trying to.
Yeah, that's what
find
I'm
out, right?
actually trying to find out. Is that a challenge to you guys?
So those challenges that are more uniquely faced by men, or more that tend to be faced by men more so.
Yeah, and also the ones that are like individual to you. Like what is it as you as a man? What is your challenge?
Yeah.
What is it that you are not? It might be something that someone else finds it easy, but you find it difficult.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Well, I'll give my comment from the perspective of the question that we just discussed previously, which is what does it mean to be a man?
Yeah.
And we said that one of the defining markers is responsibility. So a man, to be a man, you need to take on certain responsibilities, or you would have taken on certain responsibilities for yourself and perhaps for other people as well. So there are challenges that we face as men, and that I face in the various aspects of my life, the more responsibility that I take. So it might be social. I think Temwani touched on that in terms of friends and association. It might be it might be economic, or in terms of how do I secure resources for myself and those that I care about and take care of. Okay, it might be spiritual, right? Well, I'm pretty spiritual, so there's an aspect of a relationship with God. There are challenges there. How do I maintain that? What does that mean for me, right? And then there are some that are personal, in terms of what do I want to stand for and why. I think the why question is oftentimes left out because it's the harder question. So if I believe in something as a man, why do I believe in that? And if I face a disconfirming opinion or experience, do I change my belief, or do I maintain it based on certain core understanding or core principles, right? So there are social challenges that we face, there are personal challenges that we face, some are spiritual, some are economic. And even when we come to intergender dynamics as well, there are challenges that we face in how we get along with women. So yeah, those are some of the challenges. I don't know if you guys want us to talk about like
no, that's
the
actually
specific, but those are the broad headings.
But like, okay, Fire, you go first because I had something to say.
Yeah.
Oh no, like Fire had a face, bro.
This guy is a Wikipedia page, man. He's so smart. Salute.
Thanks.
It's a difficult question to answer, man. Men are different.
I'll throw out one specific
That's
challenge.
the reason why I was like, according to you.
So personally, me,
challenges. I just want money, bro. Kwasila.
Right.
I want to hang out with people like him and you guys to get ideas to make money.
Right.
I think one challenge I've had
Major challenge.
being on my own is the freedom. It's nice, but you can abuse it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And peer pressure doesn't stop in high school.
No.
Some
True,
fools just want to drink all the time. You know what I mean? I've got bills to pay, bro. So
Like, man, I got the money for all this.
yeah, that's just personal.
Yeah.
And I felt him when he said that, because peer pressure doesn't stop there. You have to have a backbone to say,
Um,
my guy, no, go
I
alone.
will throw this one in. Okay, you're first.
You
No, you could go ahead.
No, you go.
Okay,
go.
while you
One
guys are
last
deciding
one.
who's
One
gonna
last
go.
one. It's one last question because we gotta run, guys. Come on.
Okay.
One last question. Go on.
Okay, it's not a question. It's actually a contribution on the challenges we face as men. Trying to say this as a man.
Okay.
The challenges is your wife ain't gonna let you talk when you have something to say.
Nice.
Or someone
Hey.
goes.
Yeah, in
That's-
the
that's
doghouse, my
just a
guy.
little joke.
Someone
That's
stepped
just a little
outside.
joke,
Someone
yo.
stepped outside.
Although such jokes do land you in the doghouse.
Oh, wow.
Just throwing this out there. One of the challenges that I think are unique to men is in the vein of us being responsible, in the vein of us taking up responsibilities. There is the challenge of maintaining a very, very stabling sense of self for the sake of our mental health with regards to the responsibilities we have, because I think the balance is not so easy to find. When you have responsibilities and you have to be responsible, there's a challenge of finding time to okay, you put the responsibilities aside for a second and check yourself. Are you good? Are you all right? Are you capable of being there with what the responsibilities require?
Masculinity is increasingly becoming depicted as something inherently violent, inherently negative, inherently oppressive.
So when you hear the phrase, what comes to your mind?
I don't object. I don't respond with not to men.
Yeah.
I just listen, man. You will learn. Because when you listen to people's experiences, you're like, oh, okay. So this is what women go through.